Hi, good afternoon. I'm Raleigh Brown, and this is another curve flattening concert. A few people are stopping in here. I will say some hellos. Keith Shaw was the first man in on YouTube, but Carol Pred was the first person in on Facebook. And then Keith and David Harleyson and Rhonda Scott Merrick and Pam Zappardino and Helene Tober Fowler, Mike Verbick, Ken Nashiff, and Debbie Daniels. So welcome aboard, folks. Got some songs for you here today, and we might cloink. We might cloink hello here first. So here's to good coffee and good fellowship and all that good stuff. And I see Lori Payne is here, and Johnson Hogg, and Kathy Marzik. And I think I already said hi to Rhonda. So little by little, the numbers are climbing. Hate to have people miss the first song, but you know, there's only so much time in the day. So let's get into it. So this first song is written by a guy who is actually from Northeast Ohio, from Cuyahoga Falls. And he was a little bit older than me. I never met him there. And I never really met him at all. I heard him perform a couple times. His name was David Ray. There's a great guitar player. There was a great guitar player named Dave Ray, R-A-Y. But this wasn't him. This was another great guitar player, David Ray, R-E-A. And I was just thinking as I was getting ready to do this that one of the greatest guitar workshops I ever saw was at Mariposa one year. And it was three Davids. It was David Bromberg, this David Ray, and then there was a guy in Toronto named David Wilcox, not the one who's the singer-songwriter, who's also from the Cleveland area originally. This guy, David Wilcox, was from Toronto, and these guys were all just great guitar players. It was like three Davids playing this guitar workshop. And I was slack-jawed throug't the whole thing. But anyhow, this is a wonderful song that Dave Ray wrote. David Ray. I looked out my window. What did I find? The snow was on the rooftops, pretty women on my mind. Long after midnight and long before day, I just picked up this old guitar to teach it songs to drive these blues away. 'Cause I'm just a maverick child, I'm young and running wild. Remember when you once were just the same. And I ain't got nobody now to show me wrong from right. All my wisest teachers was just a stumbling in the night. And I ain't got nobody now to show me right from wrong. It's all the same, I can sit this way, watch my shadow dancing on the wall. 'Cause I'm just a maverick child, I'm young and running wild. Remember that you once were just the same. Don't pretend to understand, to know just what it's like to rent a $16 room, lie awake all night, and if my habit's worse than whiskey, supposing that you're right. Well, at least it helps to drive away these things that come and stare at me at night. 'Cause I'm just a maverick child. I'm young and running wild. Remember that you once were just the same. And once there was a blue-eyed boy with golden curly head. His mama sang him songs, then she tucked him into bed. Now he sits in silence and he listens at the night, staring at the ceiling as he tries to freeze his fancies in their flight. 'Cause he's just a maverick child. He's young and running wild. Remember that you once were just the same. That's Maverick Child, written by David Ray, R-E-A. And he passed away a couple years ago, maybe about 5 years ago. But he was a great guitar player and a good songwriter, obviously, too. So you might find him on the interwebs, on YouTube. So let me see who else is here. I see Margot Lemieux and Kate Petrella and Kate Mack out there on the West Coast, and Deb Leiby Clark, my good friend, and Leonard Augustine in Bavaria, East Bavaria. And Slim Edelman is here, and Jim Greco. So good to see you all. I think I said hi to everybody else so far. So I had a great time up in Saratoga Springs, New York, with my buddies Magpie. We did a concert. I think you can probably stream it online if you go to Cafe Lena. That's cafe with 2 F's. .tv. And anyhow, it was a lovely show. We laughed a lot. We made some great music. We made a bunch of mistakes, but that didn't stop us. It didn't deter us. We saw some old friends. I had an old motorcycling buddy, Dan Laurie, and his wife Kathleen showed up there, and they live up there now. So it was a lovely weekend. But it was a lot of driving. I spent about 12 hours in the car over the course of a day and a half. And I actually got home here Sunday morning at about 10:15, but there was no way I was going to get it together to put together a concert. So I'm sorry I couldn't be here for you yesterday, but I'm here for you now. Charlie the dog is here. He's laying over on this side today. I don't know if I'll be able to get a camera on him. I may try it a little later. But he's been a pretty good dog. And he had a dog sitter staying overnight with him. And she spoiled him rotten, I think, and he enjoyed every minute of that. So, but he didn't get in any trouble, which was a really good one, you know. So next up, speaking of dogs, is a song I wrote called Two Old Dogs. And this song is really dedicated to Suki, who was my previous problematic cattle dog cross. I mostly travel solo. It's a burden I bear. Out alone on the highway, just trying to get somewhere. My wife would like to come with me, but we just talk on the phone. We never travel together, 'cause we can't leave the dog alone. She loves to go on vacation. That's my wife, not the dog. Up the coast to New England, living high on the hog. Well, I could kill for some lobster. My friends think I'm insane, 'cause it's home in the backyard where me and the dog remain. She came with some issues, that's the dog, not my wife. She took a bullet in her young years, she was cut with a knife. They couldn't break her spirit, so they called her a cur. 'Cause when someone got bloody, she made sure it was them and not her. So they gave up on her. They left her tied to a tree where two honky-tonk angels, they picked her up and brought her to me, where she checked me over. I guess she thought I would do. And I made her a promise that from then on her hard times were through. She's got one ear that's tattered, and there's a scar on her jaw, and it's best not to cross her, or she'll lay down the law. She's the perfect companion for an old dog like me, and I try to live up to the man she hoped I might be. She's a perfect companion for an old dog like me. Two old dogs, about my old dog Suki. And I see some other folks have shown up. Dave Mason is here, and Warren and Janelle, and S.A. Tudhope, and Howard Hobbs. Did I say hi to you, Howard? And anybody else I'm missing here? Judy Wong. Judy is trying to sell her house, the poor girl. It's tough stuff to do. And Michael Tierson is here. And I'm going to switch guitars now. Pardon me for a moment. So I wasn't sure if I was going to do this switch today, but I noticed that Ken Nashif is here, and Ken is a great aficionado of J200s. And I'm going to play some ragtime guitar, so why not play it on a J200 after having a little bit more coffee? But first, the announcements for today. So, The Invisibles, Joel Biget, Mario Pru, Judith Fox, and Kit Serikaku. And there is, as always, a PayPal link right there, and Venmo, if you'd like to contribute to the Charlie the Dog Veterinary and Educational Fund. And let me see if I can get a camera on Charlie since we're talking about him here. You can't see his head. It's stuck behind his little mat there. But he's here, and he's being well behaved. So you can't do better than that. And then we have to come down just a little bit to get the whole J200 in. Well, Ken, I'm assuming you're an aficionado is somebody who is very fond of that instrument. So, does that describe you or not? Come on. And Charlie Bryant is here. Hey, Charlie. I'm going to see Charlie next week, I think. So, speaking of which, I might mention this. I will be here all this week. I'll do Wednesday and I will do Sunday. But next week, Monday and Wednesday, I will be down in Tacoma Park, Maryland, performing and recording with Magpie. So there will be a couple days when there's no concert there. but I'll announce that again later. When there are concerts is tomorrow morning, Cozy Sheridan and Charlie Koch at 10:30 a.m. They're always a joy to listen to and watch. And then Wednesday, I'll be back at 3 p.m., and by then, maybe I'll know what's going on for the rest of the week. So this instrumental today is by the Reverend Gary Davis, and it's sometimes called Slow Drag and sometimes called the Cincinnati Flow Rag. I'm not sure which one is right. They may both be right. So here we go. The Cincinnati Flow Rag. So Linda Pasqua Blaze is here. Hi, Linda. I'll probably see her this evening. And Rusty Luthi, good to see you. And Bunny Barnes. And I think that's it. I think I've said hello to most of you. Oh, David Arthur Radcliffe is here. And a good day to you too, David. And I think if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Mea culpa. So one more song for you today, and this is a song that comes under the heading of what we call hokum. And coincidentally, it's also written by a guy from Northeast Ohio. How do these things happen? So we had David Ray, and he was from Cuyahoga Falls. We had me, and then this one was written by Al Diamondstein, also known as Al Opal Schwartz. And Al was kind of a musician / street person in Kent, Ohio, back when I lived there. And he was in a a jug band. I think it was the Tiny Alice Jug Band. I'm not sure of that because I don't remember the names of all these different jug bands like I used to. But this is called Weenie Man, and the melody comes from a Tin Pan Alley song, but the lyrics are pure Al Diamondstein. I know a weenie man, he owns a weenie stand. He sells most everything from hot dogs on down. Someday I'll share his life, I'll be his weenie wife. Hot dog, I love that weenie man. I know a bun lady, and her name is Hot Cross Katie. You know she stays up all night long just a baking that good stuff. Now while her buns are in the oven, I'll pop over for some lovin'. You know she's got a lot of dough, but that's not why I need her. I know a weenie couple, oh, they do the weenie shuffle. You know they're getting up in years, but they're not too old to cut the mustard. Now they shuffle down the street so fast, you could barely catch up, let alone pass. I aim to learn to do that shuffle, and I look forward to it with great relish. Now down the street there came two weenies. One was fat and one was skinny. One was a meanie, but one was kind of dreamy, and both of them was wearing beanies. Now I went up and I grabbed them weenies. One was dirty and one was cleany. One was firm and one was leaning. The rest of this song ain't got no meaning. I know a weenie man, he owns a weenie stand. He sells most everything from hot dogs on down. Someday I'll share his life, I'll be his weenie wife. Hot dog, I love that weenie man. Hot dog, I love that weenie man. Weenie Man by Al Diamondstein. So, and Deb Levy Clark says, long time since I heard you play this one. Yeah, I've been kind of going back to the beginning of my 540 concert list and kind of going through. And a lot of the tunes, even at the beginning, I've done recently because I do them again and again. But I've been trying to pick some of the ones that I have not come back to in a while. And so that both Maverick Child and Weenie Man came out of that. So I thank you all for joining me yet again. We ended up with a pretty good crowd here, and certainly the best people. And Après Midi is here. He showed up at some point, and I think I said hi to everybody else who I can see. Be happy and be healthy, be brave and be calm, be kind, it's a snap, and if you get cranky, take a nap. thank you for joining me yet again. And go listen to Cozy and Charlie tomorrow morning. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Much love to you all.